And I'll look back to 2 years ago. I had this back and forth, which nobody talks about anymore. They love talking about Dr. Disrespect. Some people like to talk about Epstein, but most don't. Almost none of the streamers are talking about it at all. They have a lot of words to say about me. They have strong opinions about me. And like the debate that I had with Abba yesterday, I don't know if you took it. Did I take a W or L with the debate with Abba? Abba essentially admitted, I thought it was a good conversation, that he has fixated so much energy into my career, into what I think, into what I believe, into what I've done over the years. He had so many clips prepared. It's almost like an article. People were saying it was a hit piece. I don't think so. I think he was actually interested. But he did essentially admit that he's far more interested into the lives of content creators, especially mine, than he is about what's going on with Israel. I asked him about the affordability problem, which he said is the main issue in the West and in America. And he said he didn't know why, and he conceded that he didn't know why the affordability problem is the way it is. And my rebuttal was that the affordability crisis in America right now, the reason that the average debt in Gen Z is $94,000, and the reason that Gen Z has the lowest rate of 30-year-olds ever in any American generation where you can own a home and be married by the age of 30. It's like around 10% of people age 30 currently are homeowners and are married. Back during the boomer age, during Detective Columbo, for Piers Morgan, it was over 50%. It was the standard. It was normal to be married and have a house. Now, it looks like a pipe dream. 10% of people are doing it by age 30. What was normal once is now a measurement of success. What was once the baseline of living has now become a pinnacle of the American dream. I don't like that. Look at the affordability problem and look at the words of Epstein in the files. Epstein said that the Jew work in finance. Epstein said that we short stocks, shipping. We work in finance. We don't have to do things. The Goyim work in the real world. The Goyim are the one, GLM. The Goyim are the one, the slave class, that do all the hard work while we make money from finance. Allegedly, in my opinion. He said, risking my social credit score, being here, but GLM. I mean, look, bro, they're already looking at everything you do. There's no point in trying to avoid it. You can't really escape it. You can't escape Big Brother. You can't escape 1984. And I look back to 2 years ago, you know, to talk about why I'm speaking about this and, you know, why STICKO when you do the tap dance? Go on, monkey. In 2024, this is also a transgender pedophile. Almost like a transgender Epstein way back then, you know, funneling from Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber in the world of all time. Mr. Beast, who's now working with the Rockefellers and allegedly, in my opinion, pushing fake chicken. He says he's a philanthropist who's working with the Rockefeller Foundation, and now he's promoting allegedly fake chicken. Yummy. Feastables. Mr. Beast Burger. Okay, guys, so we're all gonna go on my island, and the last person to touch transgender Chris Tyson's penis gets $1 million. Let's see which kid wants to do it. Yay! I'm joking, obviously. I like Mr. Beast. But everybody was silent about Chris Tyson. Nobody wanted to talk about it, and nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about this to this day. I stuttered a little bit. I sounded like Take About This. Nobody talks about this. They like to talk about, you know, oh, pedophiles are bad. Yeah, true. True. When I was calling it out, you guys seem to disagree. And it's funny now when they talk about pedophiles, why the fuck do they never bring up Chris Tyson? Why? Huh? Chris Tyson, the transgender pedophile, does it not fit their narrative? Is that why they need to talk about Dr. Disrespect, who was messaging a 17-year-old girl? If he had waited a month or maybe waited to the next day when she was 18, would they have not talked about him? Would they have not canceled him? Why, when they talk about pedophiles and that problem that it has in the content creator world, in the entertainment world, or even within influence, they never bring up Chris Tyson? Back then and to this day, nobody fucking brings it up. You know why I think they don't? I think they want to collab with Mr. Beast. I think all these streamers are silently looking the other way and turn blind. They turn into fucking Stevie Wonder when Chris Tyson comes around because they want to put their hand on a Lamborghini for 38 hours. Because they want to go to where they're going right now. They're in Qatar. I don't know what collabs are doing. They want to play a soccer game. They want to tap dance, and they want to go on a mudslide. I think the reason the streamers never speak about Chris Tyson is because they want to go on a mudslide with Mr. Beast and put their hand on a Bugatti. I've got tech teams in Israel. I don't think any of these streamers actually care about pedophilia. I think they care about their platforms more. Because if they did, they would have called out Chris Tyson back then, and they would have even mentioned it now. But nobody says a fucking word. I think they care more about that collab than they do about the truth. I don't believe in any of these fucks. I think it's disgusting. I think it should be called out. I think we should hold these people responsible for their words, for their beliefs, and what they talk about. If you really care about Epstein, if you even care about the safety of children, then you would talk about Chris Tyson, and you don't. When have you ever seen anybody bring this up? Chris Tyson was the former best friend of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has since disavowed. But at the time when I was calling out Chris Tyson, I said this is perverted and weird. He should not be promoting this to the children. People were calling me a transphobe. Mr. Beast was saying, this is my friend, and he can be whatever gender he wants. And the more and more he kept on injecting HRT into his body in front of everybody, everybody said like, oh, you're weird. SNEAKO, you're weird. Why are you talking about this so much? Why are you so obsessed with Chris Tyson? I said, because I don't want kids to be exposed to this. This is super influential. I was banned on YouTube and everywhere at the time. I'm back on YouTube now, but at the time I was completely silenced, and I was speaking about something I saw nobody else speaking about. Back then and to this day. Chris Tyson said, Mad Jimmy kept a... I don't know if you can say this on YouTube. Mad Jimmy kept a beep and not your loser ass. I said, I became my own man. You leached off one and still failed. This is bars, by the way. You see the double entendre. I'm a rapper. Stole that shit. I became my own man. You leached off one and still failed. Not only did he fail in becoming a real man and becoming independent from Mr. Beast, he was always going to be associated with Mr. Beast and be his little fucking sidekick. But he literally couldn't become a real man because he decided to take HRT and chop it off. Flop it on the floor. Leave his wife and kids so he could dress up like a little girl. And get kids. And message kids. And use the Harvey Weinstein method. Hey, you can be in the Mr. Beast video as long as I can fuck you. Allegedly, in my opinion. This is back in June of 2024. This is going viral all the time. I got so much pushback for this. And nobody's corrected it since then. Nobody has said, hey, I appreciate you saying this when it was unpopular. I appreciate you sticking up for the truth when everybody was calling you a transphobe. Nope, they don't say that. And I'm not saying this to garner sympathy. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm saying this to point out this is the life of a goy. This is my goy life. This is what it's like. Look at the persecution I face. Look at the backlash. Look at the restrictions. Look at how I'm treated like a criminal while not being one. You can understand why everybody chooses to do the gambling deal. Why the Tates, who have tech teams in Israel, Escape the Matrix, took the gambling deal too. Because they want the goy to spin slots all day and do OnlyFans promotion. Take a percentage off of girls who are prostituting their bodies. They want you to be a good goy, clicking the slots all day. Fruit! Oh my God, fruit! Go on, monkey, play the game, do the little dance, tap dance for the goyim, entertain them. Be a good goy and just entertain. Oh, this is fucking cool. It's the Chris Tyson. That's what you're supposed to do. If you don't, if you try to be honest, well, I try my best. I make mistakes. I try my absolute best. Look what happens to me. Why would you? From the outside looking in, why would you risk everything to tell the truth when there's no incentive through finance? There's no financial incentive. There's no fame incentive. There's no collaboration incentive. In fact, you risk everything. You risk everything, your livelihood,